Hey everybody, it's MedTech67 here today. Got a really quick video for you today. It's going to be a oil change on a 2023 Chevy Traverse with the 3.6 liter. This is the LS model. Excuse the thunderstorm going on outside, but we're in Oklahoma and it's that time of the year. Let's get started. So before you get your oil draining, you want to make sure, especially if this is your ride to the parts store, that you've got 6 quarts of 5W30. We are running total FGC Futures quarts 9000. It is compliant to literally every oil requirement out there. And you're going to want a filter. We're going to be using the Carquest standard 84502. If you're using AC Delco, it's going to be a PF63, Papa Frank 63. If you're using a Mobile 1, it's going to be a Mike 1 212 Alpha. And if you're using Fram, it's going to be a Fox Delta 10575. And a K&N is going to be Hotel Papa 2012. But we're using Carquest 84502s because that's also what the Transits use. So your drain plug is on the front of the oil pan there, right next to your exhaust pipe. It's going to be a 15 millimeter. Get that guy cracked loose. I'm going to use this little tool right here from Matco. I'm sure you can find it from 1,000 other places, just because that drain plug is, or that oil is hot. I got the engine up to operating temp before I started changing the oil. There we go. While you have your oil draining, now is a great time to give your vehicle a look over. Make sure your CV boots aren't torn. Make sure everything looks good there, and your suspension joints. These are non-greasable, and they really need some grease because you can see that boot around that ball joint there is pretty flat. Take a look at each of your tires if you've got it up in the air. Make sure you don't have any nails in it. Give everything a once over. Make sure you're not leaking any fluids. Let's look over here at this CV axle. Take a peek at the other tire. This is what we do during every service. Here in a little bit we're about to rotate them. But this is the perfect time to give your vehicle the once over. Make sure you don't have anything going wrong with it. This vehicle's only got 41,000 miles on it, I believe. But now's a great time to give it a good look over. Alright, oil's down to a trickle now. Your oil filter lives right up there, right next to catalytic converter hell. Right behind your AC compressor there. You can probably get to it pretty easy from the top, but I'm on a lift right now, so I'm just gonna see if I can show you getting to it down here. Right on the fucking screen. Sorry, little buddy. Sometimes you get the money shot. Other times the money shot gets you. That's right. We're protecting the camera this time. Alright, so right up there is your oil filter mounting flange. You want to reach up there with a clean paper towel, clean rag, something. You're going to reach up there and wipe it off. Getting that on camera is really difficult. Simple oil change, make it as complicated as possible. But you just want to make sure that your gasket is not on there, there's no dirt on there, and it is nice and clean. We see that okay? Good. I'm gonna need a boat. Alright, now there's collegiate level talks on whether you should or should not pre-fill an oil filter. I honestly don't give a damn either way. I throw a little bit in there if I can, just to protect the oil pump for a little bit. But get a little bit of oil on the gasket and put her up there. Does not have to be super tight. Go to till it touches the gasket, give it 3/4 of a turn after that, call it a day. You don't need to torque this to 500 foot-pounds. Unless you work at Walmart or Hibdon's And apparently they make you red Loctite it on and have a certified pipeline welder come in behind you and weld it to the block. Just good and snug, just like that. Give everything that you made a mess a good wipe down, including your camera if you abused it like I just did. Good to go. And we're just down to a drip right here. Now, if you're so inclined to torque something, this is a great thing to torque. Your drain plug. Because it does not need to be super tight. If you do want to use a torque wrench anywhere on your oil change, this is the place to use it. Just so I'll practice what I preach, the torque on that is 89 inch-pounds. Good. That's all it needs. Now we're going to bring her down, take tires off, rotate tires, inspect brakes. Say 22 millimeter. Alright, what we're looking for when we inspect our brakes. One, make sure all your lug studs are good. There's not a ton of rust back here. If there is, clean it off before you try to put the wheel back on. You want to look at your brake rotor, the condition of your brake rotor. Do I see any grooving? Do I see any cracks? Anything like that? Do I see any metal on contact, which we do not? And you want to look at your brake pad thickness, which is these guys right here. Let me get my brake pad gauges. We're going to measure our brake pad thickness, which looks like we're going to be in the green on this one. Yeah, it's a little bit too much. There we go. We're in the green on both sides. We are sitting at 8 millimeters. But you want to give all of them a quick look over like that. Check out your brake lines, your ABS lines. Make sure there's no damage to anything. And that's a proper brake inspection. This brake is good to go. I'm going to repeat that to the other side, but let's go show you the rear. Again, we're looking at the brake rotor condition. Looks really good. Really, you know, this rust right here that you see, that is from wheel acid at a car wash. You'll also notice that one lug nut on every wheel looks a bit crusty. That's because that's a Dorman replacement, and those are GM factory ones. And because this thing came with a wheel lock on it, and those are stupid. And apparently Dorman does not do the same corrosion protection that GM does. But yeah, that's all that's from, is just from wheel acid. But again, we want to look at our brake pad thickness, which we are a little bit over 8 millimeter on these, so we're good to go there. Make sure your brake line's in good shape. Don't see any evidence of leaking or anything like that. Your ABS line's in good shape. You don't see any cracking around the plastic part of your e-brake housing. Everything here looks great. Now, in a front wheel drive car, when you rotate the tires, what you want to do is you want to reverse the action that's happening on the tires. So the front tires are constantly, you know, clawing the car forward, all right? So you want to reverse that action. So on the front wheel drive car, you're going to put the front tires directly to the rear, okay? They're just gonna, the left front is gonna move to the left rear. The rear tires on a front wheel drive car, you want to crisscross when they come forward. So that tire is gonna go there, and that tire is gonna go here. And what that does is that reverses the action that that tire is constantly doing. On the back tires, they're braking the vehicle, so they're constantly being dragged across the pavement. Well, now when we put them on the front in a reverse order, that is going to make them do the dragging. We are just running these in until they touch. We are not tightening with an impact, especially on an aluminum wheel. I can hear you in the comments right now. You're like, I heard the ugga-dugga. It's literally just that much. I can literally hold it and it's not moving in my hands. That's all we're doing, just barely snugging it. So you want to tighten in an opposing fashion. So if I tighten this one, I go across from it, I go across from it, across from it, across from it, across from it, and then when I'm done, for extra security, I just go in a circle to make sure that none of them got looser because I drew the wheel down through. Now I can hear the comments section right now. I just run them in with an impact. I've never had a problem my entire life. Good for you. I have never had a wheel off. I'm never gonna have a wheel off because I do it this way. If that wheel comes off, it's gonna be because of a mechanical failure, not because of my, mess up of not following the torque specs. So it's a great idea to get into a habit now. Always torque your wheels, always. Run them in with an impact, that's fine. Don't use the impact to tighten it. Leave it a little loose. You can see every lug nut move, but don't rely on an electric impact or an air impact to put the proper torque on your wheel. Always double check it with this. Something I meant to show earlier. I have a habit of any time I'm about to drain oil, I take off the oil cap and I set it right here on the hood latch. That way if I tried to shut the hood, it wouldn't shut and it'd be screaming at me, "Hey guy, you haven't put oil in this thing." So now we're going to put in 6 quarts of 5W30. Alright, so we got our oil topped off yet. We're not going to check it yet because we haven't started it. This is a great time to give everything underneath the hood a quick look for anything out of place. We're going to check our brake fluid. Now, do not go adding brake fluid if it doesn't need it, okay? You should never have to add brake fluid. It's sitting right here right now. Alright, well above the minimum line. Don't add any to it because when you go do a brake job and you push your calipers back in, you'll overflow your reservoir and make a huge mess. You don't need to open that system at all. As long as we're not below our minimum line, good to go. Our coolant is a smidge low. Now, is it normal for coolant to drop low? Yes. What happens is the water on the inside turns to steam, especially on these new engines with, they run a lot higher temperature. They're running 20 PSI on the cap, but the water turns to steam. It gets vented out of the cap, the steam does, and it kind of distills down your coolant. So if you want to just add straight water, you can, but we're just going to top it off with just a little bit of a sip of coolant. Let's bring it back up to the minimum line. That's all it needed, just a sip. This vehicle has electric power steering, I believe, so no power steering fluid to check. And one thing I always like to try to check on our services would be our battery. So let's check that real quick. You don't have to go super fancy on this. This is from Amazon. I want to say it was like $30. It just tests up to 1,000 cold cranking amps. It's really simple. Pop it on your battery. Make sure you actually put it on the battery terminal side, not the vehicle side, because it's got an amp sensor on there and your vehicle will know if it's lost a bunch of amperage, might set a code. But we're just going to load test this for 10 seconds. This is a 730 cold cranking amp battery, so I just want to keep it above, the 600, halfway up the 600 mark right here. So we're just going to load test it for 10 seconds. You might see some steam or smoke come off of this. 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. It never even dropped below the 1,000. That's a good battery. You can see it starts glowing red in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Good load test of the battery. There's 1,000 different types of really fancy battery testers out there. One of these, honestly, I think works better than those. I like to actually load test the battery with a real load. All right, I'm just going to start her up and pull her back so it's easier to get in and out of the lift. And then we'll check the oil. Now after you've ran it, you just need to check your oil. Let it sit for a little bit after you've ran it. Let it settle. Make sure you're on level ground. All right in the middle of the hash mark. 6 quarts is perfect. Do not overfill. All right, now we will reset our oil life. Let me kill the light here. There we go. Yes, my hood's open. All right, so you can just scroll to where your oil life is. It's right there underneath your vehicle, under the vehicle tab. And just press and hold reset. Are you sure you want to reset? Yes, I'm sure. Oil life, 100%. So we rotated the tires. We did not balance them because it doesn't need it. I've driven it. It doesn't have a shake at all. But you do need to check your tire pressure. Now, how much tire pressure do you put in your car? I can hear a lot of you out there in the crowd going, "Oh, it's written right there on the side of the tire how much air it needs." No, that is the max inflation for that tire for its maximum load. This thing doesn't hold its maximum load. It's not that heavy, so you don't need that much. Well, luckily the manufacturer has done that calculation for you of how much air you should have in that tire, and it's always on the door jamb. For the fronts, they want 35. For the rears, they want 35. And for the spare, they want 60. Check the air in your spare. Nobody ever does that, and when they need it on the side of the road, guess what? Their spare is flat too. But we're gonna put 30 front and rear. All right, so we rotated the tires, right? So now the computer does not know which tire is where. So what you should do is relearn the positions for the tires. Now, do you have to do it on this vehicle? Is it absolutely necessary? No. It'll still know that all 4 tires are within range and they're inflated. The problem is if you have a tire go low and you look at your screen, oh, your front left tire is low, and you go throw an air in the front left tire, and you're like, how come it's not going up on the screen? It still says low. Well, it's because it doesn't know that the front left tire is now on the back left, right? So that's something you would have to deal with. To relearn the tire positions, you do need a tool that will trigger the sensors. Now, you can find these online just for your specific sensor for really cheap, for like 30 bucks or so, and you could just keep it in the glove box, so when you rotate your tires on your own, you can do it. Or you can go buy just a generic tpms tool. They range anywhere from like 150 bucks up to like 800 bucks. This one right here from Autel, it's pretty pricey. But the procedure for relearning the tires is you're not going to press the brake. You're going to give a long press on the start button with the key in the vehicle, and that'll put it in run mode. And then you're going to go to your tire pressure menu underneath vehicle. Here's your air filter life, and here's your tire pressure. You're going to give that guy a long press, and it's going to say, are you sure you want to relearn? And we're going to say yes. It's going to say tire learning active. I believe Chevy will light up the turn signal of the tire they want relearned. And yeah, let's see, it's lighting up the front left turn signal. So we're going to trigger this sensor. There we go. And now it wants us to do the right front. You can see it's lighting up that turn signal. And now, as you can see, it wants us to do the back right. It just goes in a circle around the vehicle. And then the back left. And that right there means that it's all done. And now, it knows where all your tire pressures or your tire sensors are at in relation to the vehicle. You just turn it off. I hope you found this video helpful. I'm just gonna start doing videos on everything I work on and throw it out there and like wet noodles on a wall, see what sticks, see what you guys like. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.